I'm Joe. Today's bullshit is about evil GMO crops. I think. Or I want it to be. I'm so confused. On November 4th, Maui County voters in Hawaii voted on and approved the Maui County Genetically Modified Organism Moratorium Initiative. The measure was designed to prohibit any growth, testing, or cultivation of genetically modified or engineered crops, except corn and papaya, until a suggested 24-month-long health and environmental study is performed by non-biased experts. Here's the brochure that went out. GMO Initiative. Suspend genetically engineered crops until proven safe. So the initiative passed. 50% for and 48% against, with record low voter turnout. So, what do you suppose happened next? Wait for it. Monsanto sued Maui. And a federal judge has granted a preliminary injunction in the lawsuit, preventing the measure from taking effect until the court considers all the legal merits. We didn't see that coming. So, where's the bullshit here? Big agriculture companies like Monsanto, Pioneer, Syngenta, Dow, and others have deep interest in Maui. For starters, it's in the U.S., which means there are well-established but somewhat permissive rules for GMO farming and research. Also, with the tropical climate, there are 3 planting cycles a year, speeding up the entire research process. Freaky fast science is freaky good science. Since the 90s, Big Agra has been buying up property. Currently combined, they own 25,000 of the state's 280,000 acres of agricultural land, almost 10% for the math crowd. But here's a fun fact. Hawaii has long been entrenched in genetically engineered crop research and development. Last year, Hawaii exported 12.5 million pounds of genetically engineered seed corn to farmers around the globe. Another fun fact, that's 90% of all seed corn. All of Hawaii's rainbow papaya and sugarcane crops are genetically engineered, as is local corn, soybeans, cotton, canola, sugar beets, alfalfa, sweet corn, yellow squash, and zucchini, or just about everything. Under the new proposals, farmers or plantations growing these crops wouldn't be able to replenish their fields with GMO seeds, only the non-GMO stuff. Except for corn and papaya, of course. But okay, cool. GMO seeds are, on average, $150 a bag more than regular seeds. Awesome. But there's a reason GMO seeds are used. For example, in the mid-90s, papaya became infected again with the ring spot virus that caused devastating economic problems for the country's growing papaya. Hawaii's $17 million industry was struggling to survive. Rainbow papaya was introduced after thorough food and environmental testing by the federal government. That's right. Hawaii's chief export is the GMO. But it was designed by academics rather than a filthy corporation. So that's okay, right? Now, shit's gonna get weird. You see, the anti-GMO crowd are all liberal Democrats, and the pro-GMO crowd are predominantly conservative Republicans. And what we have is the politics of global warming, but in reverse. Check it out. With global warming, conservatives spew shit like, oh, I'm not a scientist, and rely on people who aren't scientists to debunk the science. While liberals scream at the conservatives, calling them science deniers, just listen to the scientists, man. Well, with the GMO bullshit, it's reversed. Suddenly, the liberals deny science and rely on people who aren't scientists to debunk the science. The EU, for example, has invested more than 300 million euros in research on the biosafety of GMOs. Its recent report states, the main conclusion to be drawn from the efforts of more than 130 research projects covering a period of 25 years of research and involving more than 500 independent research groups is that biotechnology, and in particular GMOs, are no more risky than the conventional plant breeding technologies. The World Health Organization, the American Medical Association, the U.S. National Academy of Science, the British Royal Society, and every other respected organization that has examined the evidence has come to the same conclusion. Consuming foods containing ingredients derived from GM crops is no riskier than consuming the same foods containing ingredients from crop plants modified by conventional plant improvement techniques. And these eco-activist liberal tree huggers aren't even listening to their own kind. Biologists at the University of Hawaii urged the backers of the measure to reconsider because the global scientific consensus holds that growing genetically engineered crops is no riskier than other crops. Man, this just hurts my fucking brain. Liberal Democrats completely trust scientists on climate change and completely distrust them on genetically engineered crops. Hey, liberal, come here. This is why the term libtard exists. So, until I did this research, I was one of those assholes that shopped exclusively at Trader Joe's and Whole Foods. True story. And I was thinking I was the shit for avoiding GMO produce. Now, I'm going to Costco and get me some of that juicy mutant beefsteak tomatoes and a perfectly round cantaloupe. Anyway, the moratorium was presented by the Shaka movement, which outlines several concerns. For one, they're very concerned about the abuse of pesticides, which may harm the soil and water for future generations. Yeah, okay, I get this. But the major focus is on the crops, not the shit that gets sprayed on the crops. The islanders are also concerned about the transgenic contamination. Their organic food market is rapidly rising, and many farmers fear their crops being contaminated by those still in a research phase. These are very important concerns for Maui's very fragile ecosystem. A lot of people have pointed to the adverse health effects of what big agri-companies are doing, like birth defects, allergies, and asthma. But I wonder if there's something else at play here that could cause such ailments. All right. Sugarcane burning. Open fires that begin in March and last until November that create Maui snow. Fun fact, it's not snow, it's poisonous ash. Asthma affects over 100,000 people in Hawaii, with children making up a third of the total. There is also pathogens that live on the roots of the cane that are exposed to the air when harvested by machines, creating massive toxic dust clouds. Multiple residents of Maui have become ill with bacterial lung infections. But damn those GMOs! The people have spoken, though, and they don't want genetically engineered operations in their backyard until it's proven there will be no long-term effects. If Maui wins this fight, they could lose. It could be millions lost in their GDP, thousands of people go unemployed, and not to mention the millions wasted of taxpayer money in fighting the behemoth that is Monsanto. You should have paid more attention to the science and mandated more testing, not a suspension. But you were still slimy in exempting your two biggest crops, corn and papaya. If GMO is okay for those, then what's your point? Monsanto, this is not how you undo the evil corporation moniker. While your GMO produce might be okay, your legal team blows. Monsanto, you're extreme bullshit. Liberals, for being hypocrites by picking and choosing when to believe science, you're next level bullshit. There it is, episode 21. We're gonna take some heat for this one. I want to thank all our viewers and commenters, especially Daniel Rivera, who said, when commenting on our Ebola Madness video, I don't know if the citizenry is ready for rationalism, but they got a fucking dose of it here. Thanks, man. If you have an idea for something we should cover, send us a tweet with hashtag NLBS. Or tell us what you think is next level bullshit in your own YouTube video. If we like it, we'll use it. You can also email me ideas at joe@nextlevelbullshit.com. And now you can go to thenlbs.spreadshirt.com to get shirts and other Next Level Bullshit swag. We'll see you in a couple days with more Next Level Bullshit. Follow us on Twitter, subscribe on YouTube, and watch all our shows on nextlevelbullshit.com. Until then, do you believe that you can get this on Amazon Prime? I'm gonna need it. I feel the flames are coming.